If we're being honest with ourselves, we all missed that feeling from the very first time we played Breath of the Wild. And since Breath of the Wild 2 has been delayed until spring of 2023, I thought I would share some games that you can play that may cure that itch that you have for that Breath of the Wild nostalgia. What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Dusty, one half of Our Radiant Gaming, and let's dive into some of these games that can give us some Breath of the Wild nostalgia while we wait. The first game on our list is Immortals Fenyx Rising. Immortals Fenyx Rising is a game developed by Ubisoft that takes place in ancient Greece. You play as Phoenix, a winged demigod on a quest to save the Greek gods. Now, if you're a fan of Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Greek mythology, you're probably like, okay, this game is right up my alley. The game does a great job of showing the dynamics of the Greek gods, and if you already know the backstory of them, you will get the references and humor more than those who haven't. On top of the mythology that takes place in this game, the game also looks great as far as graphics go. Not to mention, a lot of the gameplay mechanics are very similar to Breath of the Wild. Open world, flight, and the ability to climb mountains definitely will put you in mind of Link in Breath of the Wild. Puzzles are also a big part of the game. What's cool about Immortals Fenyx Rising, though, is character customization. That phrase and that mechanic we all know and love. And there is also a skill tree. You're actually given the option to choose whether you want to play as a male or female character as well, which I think is awesome. And I mean, in some theories for Breath of the Wild 2, they have mentioned that Zelda could be a playable character. I don't know if that's going to come true or not, but it's definitely out there. People have thought about it. People want it, which would be awesome because then I could play as Link and my wife could play as Zelda in 2 different playthroughs. And all around, I think Immortals Fenyx Rising is a great take on a game, even if it wasn't like a Breath of the Wild style game. But since it is and we're all Breath of the Wild fans, go check out Immortals Fenyx Rising. Odds are you can actually catch this game on sale. The second game on our list is Oceanhorn 2 Knights of the Lost Realm. Oceanhorn 2 is obviously the next game developed by Cornfox and Brothers after the release of Oceanhorn Monster of Uncharted Seas in 2013. Oceanhorn 1 was a top-down game that pays homage to the older Legend of Zelda games, and I know I said I was going to talk about Oceanhorn 2 Knights of the Lost Realm, but don't skip over Oceanhorn 1 if you are a fan of older Legend of Zelda games. So we really got 2 games in one in this one. Oceanhorn 2 takes place 1,000 years before the events of Oceanhorn 1, and it clearly takes on Breath of the Wild themes. While the open world in this game is more open world-ish, this can put players in mind of other 3D Zelda games instead of just Breath of the Wild 1 by itself. And at first glance, this game looks gorgeous, especially considering this is an indie game. There's also voice acting that goes along with characters that can assist you in battle. This addition is a nice touch on a game that is so heavily inspired by a Legend of Zelda game. And not to mention, the music is actually really great as well. And as I said earlier, this game is clearly derived from older 3D Legend of Zelda games instead of just Breath of the Wild. So with that in mind, know that what this is not is a Legend of Zelda game. It's important to keep that in mind while playing this game. It is not a perfect Legend of Zelda game. It is Oceanhorn 2 Knights of the Lost Realm. It's a great game to pick up on sale, especially if you've already played all the Zelda games in your library multiple times waiting on Breath of the Wild 2 to come out. The next game on our list is a game that I've loved from the time I've laid eyes on it, and that is Yonder the Cloudcatcher Chronicles. If the adventure aspect of Breath of the Wild was your favorite part of the game, then Yonder the Cloudcatcher Chronicles could be the game to fill that void in your life until Breath of the Wild 2 comes out. Yonder the Cloudcatcher Chronicles is a game developed by Prideful Sloth, and you will work to eliminate the murk that has overtaken the land. And actually, Yonder is a game with 0 combat at all, which I know we're all Legend of Zelda fans, so we're like, where's the combat? Where's the Master Sword? What the heck is going on? Why is he suggesting this game? But honestly, this game doesn't need combat. This definitely creates a nice, peaceful playthrough, and especially if you're like me, and when you play Breath of the Wild, you just love walking around and exploring everything, only to be attacked by moblins or some other enemy when you're walking around, especially at night. So with that in mind, this game is awesome and peaceful and relaxing. Also, this game is gorgeous. The lighting specifically looks great, and the game as a whole looks really well polished as far as the wow factor goes. This game allows crafting, farming, and side quests, and the beauty about this game though is that you do all of this when you want to and at your own pace. This game has been compared to to games like Breath of the Wild, obviously, Stardew Valley, and Harvest Moon, which makes sense, but what's so cool about Yonder is that it's not a clone of one of those games, it's its own game. If adventuring was your favorite part of Breath of the Wild, then definitely check out Yonder the Cloudcatcher Chronicles. The next game on our list is Genshin Impact. When this game released, I remembered so many people actually being in an uproar about how much this game was like Breath of the Wild. And it clearly takes inspiration from Breath of the Wild. When a game is open world, has the ability to climb mountains with stamina, and has flying or gliding aspects, you definitely can't help but get in mind of Breath of the Wild. Not to mention some of the abilities really look just like some of the abilities you had in Breath of the Wild. This game is more of an anime style of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild though, and actually allows you to have multiple playable characters unlike The Legend of Zelda. The world you traverse is actually very awesome, and the combat itself is also great. Odds are you have heard of this game or already played this game, and it's not like this is just some random game. This game has been reviewed and played by many, and reviewed well for that matter. Although this game was pretty controversial when it first released, it has grown to be a game that is loved by many. And I mean, if you are a fan of Breath of the Wild and you like anime, Genshin Impact is a no-brainer. The last game on our list is Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Couldn't do a list like this without actually mentioning a Legend of Zelda game, right? Especially one that is literally based on Breath of the Wild. Hyrule Warriors is not a new game concept, but Age of Calamity specifically focuses on Breath of the Wild. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is a hack and slash game that is developed by Omega Force. This game takes place 100 years before the events of Breath of the Wild. You are able to play as some of your favorite characters in Breath of the Wild, all the while destroying hordes of enemies. I had never really played a hack and slash game before this one, but knowing it was related to Breath of the Wild, I had to pick it up. And I thoroughly enjoyed this game. The story to me was actually very, very compelling. And to save on spoilers and where this exactly fits in the Legend of Zelda timeline, in the Breath of the Wild timeline, we'll just say it actually shocked me how good the story was. Not to mention this game supports co-op play, so if you're looking to play this game with your spouse or a friend, you can. And I feel that if you're a Breath of the Wild fan and it's in your budget, you should totally pick up Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity before Breath of the Wild 2 comes out. Then of course, after you beat it, go watch some videos explaining the story about what the heck you just played. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Check the description below so you can find links to get these games for yourself. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. Also subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss a video. This is one half of Our Radiant Gaming signing off. Everyone have an awesome day and God bless.